Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. A 25-year-old Port Lavaca man is headed to prison for the shooting death of 19-year-old Cohen Burm. And the leaders of the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are urging Israel and Hamas to resume ceasefire talks. Plus, severe weather and travel delays affecting millions of Americans right now.
And here in the Crossroads, you might have noticed it's going to be hot, hot, hot as we go into this weekend. Plenty of heat advisories already issued, but what's this? Do you have a chance of rain? We're going to take a look at that in the weather coming up.
This week we have a new Athlete of the Week to share. That's coming up here in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and happy Friday. We made it.
That's right, Carolina. We did make it. Weekend time is around the corner. And can you guess what's coming our way? Lots of sunshine. So lots of sunshine and what else?
And a little bit of rain.
And a little bit of rain. That's right. We're going to take a look at that in just a second because right now, if you're tuning in with us this morning, well, you're looking live in Victoria. Look at that beautiful sunrise. All kinds of colors out there right now. But if you're going to go see the sunrise, it's still plenty warm and humid, average for summertime. Sitting at 75 right now, but the dew point 1 degree off from that temperature, bringing humidity to 96%. So still plenty, definitely humid out there. You're definitely going to notice it. You may also notice maybe a little bit of dew on your windshield. Otherwise, I'm not really expecting too much in terms of fog because it's summertime. The air is warm and buoyant, so we've got lots of mixing. But looking at your radar this morning, usually with warm and buoyant air, we would see a little bit of rain, but looking at the radar, it's pretty clear out there this morning, but I don't think that's going to be the case as we go into later this afternoon and the evening because I've got today's rain chances and tomorrow's both at 20%, and that's going to be especially higher, especially go into the evening tonight. But we're going to look at that now. You can see as we go into the afternoon, lots of sunshine expected all the way through the afternoon with maybe a few clouds in the later afternoon developing. But as we go into the late afternoon and in the early evening, sometime after 5, I think we're going to have a few spotty showers starting developing in the northern part of the Crossroads. But then as we go into the later evening and into tonight, this is 10 p.m. right here, there's going to be this computer thinks there's going to be a big old cluster of storms entering our northwestern counties tonight. And actually, the National Weather Service is watching that little cluster, and they actually have a marginal level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather, and that's going to be for our northwestern counties. And that main risk is just going to be wind, no hail or tornado risk for today. That's the good news. But bad news is we still have plenty of heat advisories, and that's all across the Crossroads because our heat temperatures, some of us could see as temperatures as high as 103, 104, but our heat indices, that's going to be as high as 113. So please be careful on that heat. That heat is going to continue all the way into next week. But we're going to take a look at that and more later on Sunrise. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. A 25-year-old Port Lavaca man is headed to prison for the shooting death of 19-year-old Cohen Burm. A Calhoun County jury sentenced Blake Downs to 30 years in prison. He'll have to serve at least half of that sentence before he is eligible for parole. Blake Downs shot and killed Burm at Downs' home on Holloman Road in Port Lavaca on April 9th, 2022. The leaders of the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are urging Israel and Hamas to resume ceasefire talks. A joint statement released Thursday night from President Biden, Egypt, and Qatar says, quote, "It is time to bring immediate relief to both the long-suffering people of Gaza as well as the long-suffering hostages and their family. The mediating countries are calling on both sides to resume urgent discussion on Thursday, August 15th in Doha or Cairo, and to close all remaining gaps and commence implementation of the deal without further delay." Former President Trump is challenging Vice President Harris to more debates. The former president announced the new debate schedule at a press conference at his Mar-a-Lago club in Florida. Trump proposed 3 debates in September hosted by Fox, NBC, and ABC. When asked if she would be participating in the 3 debates against the former president, Harris said yes. Harris also emphasized how much she's looking forward to them. We'll go to Washington for more later. Austrian authorities released a picture of one of the suspects in the foiled Taylor Swift terror plot. Security officials say 2 young men wanted to commit an attack outside of one of Swift's concerts, killing as many people as possible using knives or self-made explosives. Officials told reporters that the 19-year-old Austrian suspect began working on his attack plans in July. Austria's interior minister says the suspects were planning the attack for Thursday or Friday. Now to the severe weather and travel delays affecting millions of Americans right now. What's left of Hurricane Debby is wreaking havoc, spawning tornadoes and triggering flood alerts along an 800-mile stretch of the eastern seaboard, some areas seeing 2 feet of rain.
This morning, Debbie isn't done yet with more heavy rain and the threat of tornadoes. One tornado touching down near Wilmington, Delaware last night.
There was many reports made of damage to houses, such as trees down, pole and wires down.
Storms also damaging several homes near Washington, D.C. What's left of Debbie will accelerate through Pennsylvania and upstate New York today, then into New England, dumping more than 6 inches of rain. Debbie made a second landfall as a tropical depression yesterday in South Carolina, where rain totals could surpass 2 feet. The governor warning they're not in the clear yet.
Rains are gone, but the flooding, the river flooding will take place.
Debbie has already spawned at least a dozen tornadoes. A man was killed in North Carolina after a twister destroyed this home east of Raleigh. The tornado also damaged a middle school. Norman Toller lives nearby.
Look out the back door, and I dropped down to my knees and went to pray. I said, Lord, you know, I've worked all my life for what I got here. Please don't take it. And it went right in the backyard. I know God works miracles because he worked one tonight.
More than a foot of rain fell in North Carolina, and flood watches remain in effect from the Carolinas to New Hampshire. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says he will start redirecting money from cities and counties that don't show results in reducing homelessness. Thursday's announcement comes after the governor issued an executive order in July. The directive called on state agencies to take down homeless encampments and encourage local governments to adopt similar policies. Newsom said some local jurisdictions are not doing enough, despite the resources the state has provided. There's an estimated 180,000 people experiencing homelessness in the state. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:36 on our Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. How many Americans oppose the High Court's abortion decision? We find out after the break.
I'm ABC's Perry Russum in Washington. Former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris have agreed to their first debate. What Harris says has to happen for there to be more. That story coming up.
And coming up next after the break, we're going to take a look at your weather and health forecast, followed by your marine forecast. And later on Sunrise, we're going to take another look at the tropics and see what on earth is happening out in the Atlantic.
Here's a look at Community Crossroads this weekend. We first sit down with the Victoria County Democratic Chair, followed by the Victoria GOP County Chair to talk about the upcoming elections. Plus, we wrap up with pet adoptions of Cuero.
Over capacity. We actually built the shelter for 10 dogs, and we have 40 dogs right now.
Oh my goodness.
So we really need adopters to come out. We need fosters to come out, try a dog for a day.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live in Cuero, another warm and humid one up in Cuero, sitting right now at 76 degrees, but that dew point 1 degree off from that temperature, bringing humidity to 96%, so still plenty humid out there. I'm thinking you might maybe see a little bit of like a little layer of dew on your windshield. Not really expecting too much in terms of fog this morning because we got another hot day today, getting up to about 99, I'm thinking here in Victoria, although we might hit 100 for a moment or so, but not really buying that. But I am buying, some of us will see heat of the seas up to 113, so please be careful. Heat advisories have been issued for all the Crossroads. Please be careful out in that heat. Heat is definitely dangerous. But what is not so dangerous today is going to be the pollen. Not too bad, actually. Moderate grass pollen out there, but your ragweed pollen, that's going to be nice and low. It might be kind of borderline between low and moderate. So maybe take an allergy pill today, but air quality, that's going to be moderate today. That's not too bad. Your UV index, that's going to be extreme though. So if you have some sensitive skin, maybe make sure to put on some sunscreen for today. But if you're going down to the beach today or down to the Gulf, not too bad of a day. Lots of sunshine expected, smooth waves out there, and your water's still very warm at 94 degrees. That is basically a sauna. Go hop in that water. But we've got lots more hot water to come our way to, this weekend and next week, folks. But we're going to coming up next, we're going to look at the tropics. But now, here's sports.
All right, everyone, our athlete of the week is a familiar face from the baseball field. Here at 25 News Now sports reporter Ray Robinson with more.
Your athlete of the week most recently represented the city of Victoria on a national scale in the Senior Little League World Series. Leyland Ring, who played a crucial role in Victoria Northeast's success of the season, always credits his parents for his success on the field.
My mom and my dad, they're real tough on me and they instill a lot of discipline into me, and so that plays a big part into the person I am on the field.
The first game of the series saw an impressive walk-off Leyland recounts how the play went on his side of the field.
So, I mean, it was an electric moment. I mean, throughout the whole game, my job was to keep my team up and be a leader out there, not letting us get down on ourselves and losing that game earlier than we could have. We knew that we could come back, and so just picking everybody up until the very last hit, whenever it happened, you know, that was just, it was amazing.
In just his 16 games of the season, Ring finished with 19 RBIs and a batting average of .440. Let's wish Ring the best as he prepares for his freshman year, as he is your Athlete of the Week. Ray Robinson, KAVU 25 News Now, Sports.
This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Ray. Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search for Crossroads Today Plus. There will be at least one presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump, the two agreeing to face off on ABC. Trump previously backed out of the debate after President Biden dropped out of the race.
This morning, a confirmed presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump. The two candidates agreeing to face off September 10th on ABC.
I'm looking forward to it and hope he shows up.
I think it's very important to have debates.
At his news conference in Mar-a-Lago, Trump says they also agreed to debate on Fox before the debate on ABC. But Harris's campaign team says that's not accurate, adding all future debates will be contingent on Trump showing up on September 10th.
I am happy to have that conversation about an additional debate for after September 10th.
Harris and her running mate Governor Tim Walz speaking to the United Auto Workers Union yesterday in Michigan. At his Florida estate, Trump speaking with reporters for an hour, questioning Harris's intelligence, accusing her of avoiding reporters, and suggesting he's attracted larger crowds at his rallies than Martin Luther King Jr.
Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, same number of people, if not, we had more.
When speaking about Harris's relationship decades ago with former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown, Trump inaccurately describing surviving a near-death experience in a helicopter.
Well, I know Willie Brown very well. In fact, I went down in a helicopter with him. We thought maybe this is the end. We were in a helicopter going to a certain location together, and there was an emergency landing. This was not a pleasant landing.
According to the New York Times, Trump apparently confused Willie Brown with former California Governor Jerry Brown. Both men say they were never on a helicopter with Trump that made an emergency landing. Trump is on the campaign trail for the first time this week. He has a rally in Montana today. Harris will be in Arizona. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, will you be watching the presidential debate between Harris and Trump? Okay, let's take a look. 90% of you say yes, and 10% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. A new poll shows that many Americans remain opposed to the Supreme Court's ruling overturning Roe v. Wade. A new Marquette Law School poll shows 2/3 of Americans oppose the High Court's abortion decision. That's more disapproval than the court's other major recent decisions on gun access and granting former President Donald Trump sweeping immunity from criminal prosecution. The Supreme Court's 2022 ruling returned the question of abortion to states, about half of which have banned or severely restricted access. Sometimes life finds a way. Scientists in Germany say they've identified 4 microfungi that can eat plastic. An analysis at a lake in northeast Germany found some microfungi can grow on plastics when there's no other carbon source to feed on. That leads to the breakdown of synthetic polymers. It could be a game changer for the millions of tons of plastic waste in the oceans. Still, researchers say it's just better to produce less plastic. The time is now 6:45 on our Friday morning. Still to come, a local school district gets ready for the return to the school year. Okay, it is time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Malaya. Happy 3rd birthday, Malaya.
Happy 3rd birthday, Malaya. And happy 11th birthday to Tessa. Happy birthday to our dearest Tessa. May God bless you with a great school year and grant your birthday wishes. We love you so much from Daddy, Mommy, and Sarah.
Happy birthday to Jalen. Happy 18th birthday to Jalen from his mom, dad, brothers and sister, grandparents, and all his family. We love you so much.
Oh, happy 18th, Jalen. And also happy birthday to Roosevelt. Happy birthday, old man. Hope you have a great birthday this weekend. Love from Teresa and the boys.
X-Files scoop in the Crown star Gillian Anderson is 56 today.
Ooh, happy birthday, Gillian Anderson. And also happy birthday to Anne. Your friends and family want to wish you a wonderful, blessed day, and they're always and forever with you. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click on the drop-down menu, then hit the Home tab, and you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is now 6:46 on our Friday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
Or this weekend. That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're tuning in with me this morning, I'm sure you're probably wondering what is going on out there in the Atlantic. Well, I can tell you safely we've got a lot going on. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. I'm going to start out with Debbie, and I'm only going to spend a few seconds here on Debbie because Debbie is all the way out there on the East Coast and actually entering the Northeast Coast here over the next couple of days. And right now, it has been downgraded to a tropical depression with winds sustained at 30 miles an hour. Pressure still at 1,003 millibars, but as you can see, there's still plenty of rain still circling around that low pressure center. That's going to be entering the Northeast Coast over the next couple of days, drenching them with even more rain. So if you have any family or friends or folks over there on the East Coast, make sure that they're all right because they just got, some areas got more than 2 feet of rain, which is absolutely incredible. But as we zoom out into the rest of the Atlantic, if you tuned in with me yesterday, you did hear me say that there are four tropical waves up there in the Atlantic. Right now, you did also hear me say that the two that were out in the west, those are going to dissipate, and that's exactly what has happened. But the National Hurricane Center is now watching this wave that just came off the western coast of Africa that I was thinking might develop, and that's exactly what they're thinking. Now they've got a 50% chance of development, but you may notice, good news for us, that's going to go towards the northeast, the east coast. But also, if you notice, there's another wave coming off Africa over the next couple of days. That's going to be our one that we're going to watch here in the Crossroads over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But the stuff that is out there right now, that's going to have to be, they're going to be battling with a little bit of Saharan dust. Nothing here in the Crossroads though, but because of the water temperatures being so close to near record all-time high temperatures, that's what's going to bring the tropical development chances up. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center is watching that wave that is over there in Africa, and they right now have a 40 to 60% chance of development over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But we're going to take a look at that more later on Sunrise.
It's back to school time Thursday afternoon in Edna. Students, teachers, and staff got excited about the upcoming school year. It was the annual back to school bash, a time for students to register and meet their teachers. Students in the Edna ISD head back to the classroom Wednesday, August 14th. The Victoria ISD invites the community to attend its final superintendent search public meeting at 6 p.m. on Monday, August 19th at Mission Valley Elementary School. There's also a survey on the district's website that community members are also invited to take part in. The ISD is introducing a new online payment service to make handling school-related expenses easier for parents, guardians, and stakeholders. The My School Bucks payment system follows the need for an easier, more convenient payment system to meet community needs. It allows parents to manage all school fees and purchases in one place with a single login. It includes payments for Chromebook insurance, event tickets, school store items, and more. It's accessible online via a mobile app and offers flexibility and convenience. Come to crossroadstoday.com for more information. Deaths from COVID-19 are on the decline in the United States. The Centers for Disease Control says COVID deaths in the U.S. fell 69% from 2022 to 2023. That put coronavirus as the 10th leading cause of death last year, down from the 4th in 2022. And in 2023, COVID caused more than 76,000 deaths, a major drop from 2022, when around 245,000 COVID-related deaths were reported. At its peak in 2020 and 2021, COVID was the third leading cause of death in the U.S. Heavy marijuana use may increase the risk of certain types of cancer. A new study found using marijuana daily for years may raise the overall risk of head and neck cancers by up to 5%. However, researchers did not find a link between occasional marijuana use and these cancers. Head and neck cancers make up 4% of all cancers in the U.S., with more than 71,000 new cases and 16,000 deaths expected this year. With marijuana use rising, the study's authors said there's concern these cancers could increase. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A Middle Eastern country ramps up attempts to influence the U.S. presidential election. Microsoft says Iran has ramped up attempts to influence the U.S. presidential election. Microsoft says Iranian operatives are creating fake news outlets to target liberal and conservative voters. A fake Iran-backed outlet describes itself as a trusted source for conservative news in Savannah, Georgia. Microsoft says no site has gained much traction on social media. So far, there's been no comment from the Trump campaign, as President Trump ordered the killing of a top Iranian general. Iran has vowed revenge for the general's death. Could human beings depend on computers for companionship? That's a concern raised by OpenAI. The Artificial Intelligence Research Organization issued a safety review report of the tool. It suggests the human-sounding voice on ChatGPT is so realistic that some people may develop relationships with it. The advanced voice mode responds in real time and makes adjustments when interrupted, and can determine a person's emotional state by voice tone. OpenAI says they've observed people, quote, expressing shared bonds with ChatGPT. The IRS is once again processing pandemic-era tax credit claims from businesses while cracking down on fraudulent claims. The agency paused reviewing claims for the Employee Retention Credit on September 14th of 2023 due to the high number of potentially fraudulent claims. But now, the IRS says it will begin processing the backlog of claims submitted between that date and January 30th. The agency says the recent claim denials are estimated to have prevented about $5 billion in improper payments. If you have jury duty next week, we have some news for you. The jury summon for Monday at the Victoria County Courthouse at 8:30 a.m. has been canceled. That summons will not be rescheduled. And here's a road closure notice for you. From 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., the 300 block of Albright Road will be closed on Monday for the installation of a cattle guard. Governor Greg Abbott signed an executive order that requires public hospitals in Texas to collect information on immigration status of patients so that hospitals can track costs incurred for the care of undocumented migrants. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now let's get a look at our beautiful sunrise with Parker, who's saying we've got a 20% chance of a shower today.
That's right. We do have a chance for rain today. We're going to look at that in just a second, because right now, yes, look, this beautiful sunrise coming over Port Lavaca this morning on the coast. But if you're going to go see that sunrise, not too bad of a time. We're all in the upper 70s this morning. My computer's, of course, not working again this morning, but it's going to be another hot day today, even in Port Lavaca, getting up to about 96 this afternoon with some clouds in the afternoon. I don't think y'all are going to have too much of a chance for rain today along the coast, but inland counties, they have a little bit better chance, and that's going to be sometime in the late afternoon and the evening tonight for your chance of rain today. But getting up about 99 here in Victoria and Cuero, y'all going to be a little bit hotter with that land heated air, getting up to about 100. Please be careful in the heat, but we're not the only ones experiencing the heat. Look at the temperatures all across Texas. Lots of 90s and 100s in the forecast, but here in the Crossroads, we've got heat advisories for all of us out there, so please be careful in the heat and make sure to know the signs of heat exhaustion. That is going to be staying with us, that heat is, all the way into this weekend and into next week as well.
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
And stay cool in that AC.
All right, well, thank you, Parker, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful start to your weekend. Remember to follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Don, Mac, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.